Okay, so I want to give a big shout out to the subreddit yet again, specifically Spider. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. And he basically updates this list every single time that new equipment is added, or just anything that is going to determine where certain units rank on this list. Of course, meta changes, new units, equipment, which has been data mined, but they haven't released it just yet. To be honest, a ton of stuff has been data mined, which I believe D3 went over. So if you haven't seen his video, go ahead and check it out. It's actually where I found out about the whole level 4 and 5 rising souls, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, regardless, I hope you guys are having a great day. As always, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all of that good stuff if you enjoy the video, and if you are new, and obviously like if you are new regardless. It's all the same. So there are different tiers when it comes to this game, and keep in mind that this is an unofficial tier. It's entirely down to what the person that made this list feels, and I would imagine that he got a bit of input from just other people, because that's just the best way to get an overall understanding of the game. Multiple opinions come together to just come to an agreement as to what they believe the best units in the game are in a particular order. So S tier, A tier, and then we have the B tier right at the bottom, which is where the majority of the units in the game actually lie. And I do wonder if the soul boost increases make some of those B tier units a bit, maybe that pushes them slightly higher up the list, or if it at the very least allows them to be, allows them to be on par with some of the sparking units. But more likely than not, I feel like the extreme units are the ones that have the better chance of putting up a decent fight against some of the sparking units. But of course, because of the recent update to the gameplay and such, it's going to lean towards the pay-to-play side and just who has the most sparking units, which is a bit of a shame. But unfortunately, that is the way that the game is right now. But the good thing is, for the most part, the second best team in the game has a lot of free units. And when I say a lot of free units, you have, I made a video on this yesterday. So if you want a bit more in-depth, as a bit more of an in-depth video into that team, be sure to check it out. But the point is, when it comes to that particular team, which is like the second best in the game, you have a lot of units that are obtainable for free for the most part. So I guess that's a good thing. But of course, as the game slowly progresses, that's where it's kind of going to be like, okay, you may need a few more sparking units, which is kind of where the discounted summon comes into play. You can get lucky and pull one of the newest sparking units, which is great. I still haven't pulled the Broly. Most likely won't, but it is what it is, and I think I should probably get into the list at this point. So, sparking units have pros and cons section due to them being the meta of the fighting units, and extreme units have also been added. Hero units will be added if we receive any good ones later on, which is what we desperately need. So, currently we have 3 units in the S tier. First one is the Broly, who is currently the best card in the game. Second, we have Vegeta, and in last place, but not really last place, at the bottom of the S tier, we have the Sparking Piccolo. So, to quickly go over the Broly, he has a main ability like Super Saiyan Goku that allows him to draw a card. His Z ability gives a minimum 17% base blast defense for characters from movies, which at the moment is only Piccolo. It comes with 2 unique ability passives. The ability to increase his massive strike damage by 20% when facing any Goku character, which of course is going to be a very common thing. His gigantic meteor special attack causes the enemy to receive 15% more strike damage for 15 counts, and has a faint chance of 30% like the Spirit Bomb Goku. He is the first sparking unit whose extra ability is an attack move and a buff. His gigantic claw gives 15% to his own key recovery for 20 counts, and forces your opponent to switch characters, but will cost you a hefty 35 key to use. He comes with the Saiyan tag, which is insane for all the stats boosts that he will get, and is a much tankier unit than Vegeta, so he will last longer. All in all, Broly is a very scary unit, and he's just about perfect. He's able to use good equips just like the Spirit Bomb Goku. Of course, he is referring to equipment items. Has the highest strike damage in the game, and critical in the game, with the second highest key restore speed, which is just perfect, especially after the update that they made. And third highest health. His only notable drawbacks are low blast attack and blast defense, really, and is of course hard countered by the Piccolo. And as I have mentioned multiple times before, you can just use Giant Claw. So switch Piccolo out and bring one of his other characters in, or you can just switch out yourself, of course. Good equipment, fits on a Saiyan team, Faint mechanic, highest strike attack in the game, highest critical out of the sparking unit, second highest in the game, extra ability forces switch, has the ability to draw a special card like the Super Saiyan Goku, durable, second highest key recovery in the game. Just absolutely solid all around. I feel like the biggest disadvantage is the fact that he is vulnerable to key attacks, and of course his key damage isn't as high as some of the other units, but he's just an absolute madman all around. Of course we have the Vegeta in second place, the best damage dealer in the game, while Vegeta's blast and strike defenses are below average and has the lowest health and strike attack in the game. The sheer amount of damage output he has carries him to the top, while at face value his blast attack is only the second highest from the sparking units. He is full of crazy blast attack boosts. His extra ability gives him a 15% blast damage increase for 30 count. His Gallic Gun special attack increases blast attacks for 15 seconds, and his Z ability increases Saiyan base blast attacks by a minimum of 19%. And then if we move on to his main ability, it gives him a monstrous 50% increase to blast attacks for 20 count. He also has a nice bonus of doing 20% more blast damage against units of the Super Warrior category, and this includes the Krillin, the Yamchas, the Tiens and such. Being a fragile unit, however, you'll have to know when to bring on Vegeta to bring the pain to the enemy, because of course he has low health, low blast and strike defense. With a total of a 100% in blast attack boost, it's easy to see why the Prince of Saiyans, or the Saiyan Prince, is feared in the right hands. So what this is basically telling us is that you don't want to start with your Vegeta. You barely want to have him out, but when you are in a position to deal as much damage as possible, specifically when you have his main ability active and just other attack increases active, you want to utilize that as much as possible, but never keep him in for a extended period of time, because he is most likely going to be taken out. So, highest damage potential in the game, good equipment, fits on a Saiyan team, counters Piccolo, which is, used often, fragile unit with the lowest health and lowest defenses, high skill cap, countered by Yellow, which will soon have 3 sparking units, which of course are the Kid Gohan, if I'm not mistaken, Frieza, as well as the Ginyu. So, a few counters coming out. I'm honestly expecting Frieza to make his way onto this particular list. I just don't see him being A tier. So, when it comes to the Piccolo now, wow, this unit is such a beast. I underrated him massively from the start, pardon me. So, the Piccolo has an amazing balance of attack and defense. He is undoubtedly a great unit, having the best health in the game, with the best strike and blast defense of the game currently. Your opponent will have a lot of time. No, your opponent will have to spend a lot of ki trying to take him down, while his Z ability is practically useless. His main ability to restore allies' health by 25% for your team is massive, especially once characters reach higher levels. 25% is a lot of healing. He comes with a passive to do 20% more blast damage to Saiyans. Of course, this counts Super Saiyan Goku, Spirit Bomb Goku, Vegeta, Broly, which you will counter all the time. His unique ability to reduce 50% of all damage when switched in is pretty ridiculous. Well, it's during a combo, by the way. It's not like prior to a combo. He has to be switched in the middle of a combo, which of course is a ridiculous ability. Cuts that damage by 50%. His extra ability is a 15% boost to both ki and strike attacks for 15 seconds. He also has the only special attack that pierces, which I've mentioned before is absolutely stupid. Does a ton of damage, especially if you have a type disadvantage. His, the only downside to the unit is, well, I say only, but he has low critical rate and key restore speed is pretty damn low as well. He doesn't have synergy with any specific team, but he does have good equipment. That being said, Piccolo being the only healer right now, so far makes him a viable unit for a very long time, but I would imagine that we are going to have units in the future like Boo that can heal crazily. Of course, we have Zamasu as well, potentially even Goku Black, which I doubt, but you see where I'm going with that. A lot of potential healers, maybe even a Dende down the line. A lot of potential for healers in the future, but I think that Piccolo is going to stay on top of that for a good while to come. Only healer currently, best tank have switched in, good equipment, highest health, highest base, blast, and strike defense, counters blue, which there is a lot of, can survive Rising Rush. No synergy for any team for now, one of the hardest to kill. I see that can be a pro or a con depending on your perspective, right? If he's working for you, of course that's a pro, but if you're working against him, that's a con. Countered by Vegeta, that's used everywhere. Lowest key restore speed and critical, and low damage. To be fair, I found that his damage isn't necessarily that bad, especially if you use a super attack, but you'd rather utilize his offensive abilities. And I kind of see why now he isn't used on some of the more top tier teams that include Broly and such, because I believe the team that he is on right now, well, you can use him with Broly, and I think that particular team is 3rd place, which is still very good, of course, but regardless, the Piccolo just needs to find a team where he has a bit more synergy. And, okay, I just realized that I'm about 11 minutes into this video, so I am going to speed it up a little because there is a lot to talk about. Wow, is there a lot to talk about? Damn, I didn't even realize. So, the A tier units, we have Spirit Bomb Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, as well as the Piccolo. So, the Spirit Bomb Goku is a free unit. I'm going to try to, like, just skip certain parts of the assessment and kind of just get to it. He has 2nd best health in the game, as well as a strike and blast defense. Wait, the 2nd best health in the game, strike and blast defense, key restore speed, and having the 3rd best critical in the game. His abilities are very offensive with stat increase to help this tank deliver the damage needed. His Z ability makes all other Saiyans on your team tankier with a minimum 19% space strike defense. He has an ability that gives him 15% more damage across. Oh my god, I can't read. 15% damage increase to all. 15% damage increase to all damage. So just strike and key blast, cool. He has a passive that increases his blast damage by 20% as long as you have all 3 team members alive. Excellent main ability to cause the enemy to receive 40% more blast damage, which is why he works so well with the Vegeta. And I wish Broly had a superior blast damage, because that would be absolutely incredible with him. He has a feint mechanic with his special attack Spirit Bomb, which is a 30% chance to hit, which of course is the feint, not the actual super attack itself. Free Sparking unit is as durable as Piccolo on a Saiyan team, and is definitely worth the medals to upgrade. Free from exchange shop, good equipment, best tank while on a Saiyan team, has the stun ability to his in a special attack, passive active until someone dies on your team, counter Super Saiyan Goku, which is seen often, countered by Piccolo, damage is mediocre without buffs, upgrading to higher tier costs a lot of medals. Now, Super Saiyan Goku joins the A tier. Surprisingly, the highest base blast attack compared to the other sparking units, and the 2nd best strike attack and critical. Unfortunately, he also comes with the lowest strike and blast defense, 2nd lowest health, and key restore speed. His extra ability gives him 15% more damage for 20 time count, and his Kamehameha attack will buff his next special by 15%. His main ability will give you a 20 energy Super Dragon Fist at any moment, which is huge, which with you unable to draw cards normally during combos, which is a new thing, which sucks, but it is what it is. His the ability to buff Saiyan's attack or base attack by minimum 19% is also nice, but in the end, Super Saiyan Goku is a poor version of Vegeta. Still a decent unit, and considering he's the first free sparking unit that was given, we can't complain too much. And it's funny because when the game first came out, I was saying that Vegeta was a worse Goku, but it's actually the opposite. And I definitely have to agree after using them for about a month or so. So he's free, fits on a Saiyan team, good equipment, main ability to draw a special attack card is strong, highest base blast attack, most fragile sparking unit with lowest strike and blast defense, low key regeneration, countered by blue units which are in abundance. Now, the Piccolo, the champion of the West Quadrant, arrives as the most well-rounded and optimal unit in the game, with the second highest health, strong blast and strike defenses, and the second highest strike attack compared to the other sparkling units. Piccolo is a fantastic unit to open your battles with, while his unique ability and Z ability are mostly non-existent. His extra ability to increase all forms of damage by 15% or 25 seconds is a big help to his overall damage. He also has the feint mechanic like Spirit Bomb Goku and Broly, but at a lower chance to land at 20%. He has a main ability that adds 10 cost to all enemy units, strike and blast cards. Unfortunately, he also suffers from having no synergy with any other unit so far, and has no good equipment yet either. Most well-rounded fighter, counters the most used unit Vegeta, can stun with a special attack, increases card cost for your opponent, has synergy with the new Broly card, doesn't fit in any team currently, countered by the 3 Super Saiyan Goku, low critical and key restore speed, and no equipment. And I think just, yeah, there was a lot to go over here, so I think that just for the last few units, I will leave the link if you kind of just want to go over them. But in the bit, I think I'll just read the pros and cons for the most part. Oh, they don't have any though. That kind of sucks. Okay, so if you do want to read the rest, I will leave the link in the description, but I'm just going to go over them briefly. So we have the Sparking Pan at the top of the B tier, highest key restore speed in the game, useful to use as a stall character to refill key. Cons: unlimited, combo removed, sucks. Low blast and strike attack, and very low blast and strike defenses. Countered by Piccolo, no good equipment, so her best use by far is to just use her as a character to recover key, which is of course is very important right now. Extreme Goku, Extreme Raditz, Extreme Tien, and joining the B tier is in fact Extreme Krillin, and it turns out that we have a C tier as well, so I am completely mistaken. C tier we have X-Napper, or EX-Napper, Mercenary Tao, and Chaozu. And below is the character stats in order from best to worst in each stat of the game. Okay. So health. Captain Piccolo's. Why does that say Ginyu? Wait. Since when do we have a Ginyu? Hello? Hello? Am I... Nice. No. Okay. Oh, so Ginyu. So Ginyu is a green unit. It's the Kid Gohan. That's a yellow. But... Sorry. I can't see these characters. Am I... That is indeed interesting. But anyway, you know what? Let's go over this. So the highest health in the game, Piccolo, then Captain Ginyu. Final Form Frieza and Kid Gohan are pretty low. Strike attack, Final Form Frieza's up there, and so is the Kid Gohan, which is dope. Blast attack, Frieza is up there as well. Gohan right at the bottom. Captain Ginyu has a high critical, high key restore speed. His defense is average. Strike is... Captain Ginyu is literally going to be... Captain Ginyu is literally going to be... You just go for the body switch with him. That's literally it. Okay, so for some reason, I cannot access that page. Why can I not see the units? Interesting. Well, regardless, hope you enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Be sure to check out this particular page if you want to just go a bit more, read a bit more on the lower tiered units, but I would imagine that I got the most important ones out the way. Big shout out to Spider yet again. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you did. And I will see you all in the next one.